Okay, guys, so I hope you're all doing well. This is the webinar called Mad About Magee. My name is Conan Meehan. I'm the Student Outreach and Recruitment Officer here at Ulster University. And today, as obvious as the title is, we're going to be discussing all things Magee, and particularly why Magee students are mad about their campus. And that's not to suggest that Magee students are crazy in any way, rather that they have, I suppose, a particular passion about their campus. They're very proud students and they love the campus at which they study. And we're going to explore the reasons why that's the case today. So we have quite a few things to cover over the next 35 minutes or so. And the overview of subjects that we're going to topic here is on the right-hand side. So as you can see, very briefly, we're going to start off with the Magee campus itself in a nutshell, some of the defining, uh, elements of the particular campus. But we'll do that briefly because the following subjects will allude more to about the campus than in this brief introduction. And then, of course, we'll talk about the city in which the Magee campus is immersed, Derry or Londonderry, because I think you can't really talk about the Magee campus without talking about Derry City, because it is so immersed within the cityscape. We'll talk about the courses on offer at the Magee campus and your study options available to you when you're doing your university research, as well as the accommodation options and the quality of student accommodation that we have on this campus, the affordability, and what you get for your buck at Magee. And then we'll turn to some of the more student side of things in terms of what our students get up to when they're studying with us at the Magee campus. And that includes everything from students' union activities, advice and representation, to the more active clubs and societies and social aspects of studying at the Magee campus. Then we'll hear from a few of our students on what they think about Ulster University and studying on the Magee campus. They're really powerful and impactful testimonials that really goes to show and pays tribute to the fact that Magee students are mad about Magee. And then finally, we will hear from a live student, our very own Catherine O'Hare, who's currently studying at the Magee campus, who's going to share with you her experience having come from Belfast, why she wanted to get out of Belfast and choose Magee over all other study options available to her. And also a bit of housekeeping before I go on. I should also mention that attendees do have the opportunity to ask any questions throughout the webinar using the Q&A button that you should find at the bottom of your screen. All you have to do is type in any question that you want answered, and my colleague who's also on this call or presentation, Jonathan Holland, will type answers to them. So kicking off then with the Magee campus, and I think one of the defining factors of the Magee campus is this over 150 years old Hogwarts building, as it's nicknamed, that dates right back to 1862. And it really is one of the more prominent sort of facilities that we have historically in the Magee campus. And it is one that really identifies it and stands out in it amongst its surroundings. But we have been, despite its history, over 150 years old, we have been investing in the Magee campus, which you'll see evidence over the next couple of points. So just kicking off with some very basic 101 statistics on the Magee campus. In terms of its location, in case you're not already aware, it is located in Derry Londonderry, which is only about an hour and a half from Belfast or 3 hours from Dublin. I actually do both those journeys pretty regularly, and you know the time passes fairly quickly. And it's a mere 40 minutes from Letterkenny if you're coming from the Donegal direction. So it's closer than you think in some respects. And it's a campus that, like I've earlier alluded to, is immersed in its city, which is full of culture, history, and art. You might be aware that Derry City was awarded the UK City of Culture in 2013, and since then has been, an investment in the activities and life in Derry, which you'll see evident over the next few slides. So in terms of numbers, I've already mentioned that Magee is an historic campus. It's our oldest campus by some distance, and being there for over 150 years. But it's also our smallest campus currently in terms of student population, with over 5,000 students. And with that means that you're getting a very intimate student and learning experience in the classroom with your tutors, meaning that the tutors are more accessible and you're getting prompt feedback if you have any particular questions about your studies. And that's something that our students really cherish at this campus, is the fact that they can email their tutor and get a response within a half an hour, an hour. It really is something that they value. And there's 60 ways that you can study with us at undergraduate level, be it full-time or part-time. And in terms of investment, this is a campus that we have financially invested in over the last 10 years with our brand spanking new £11 million teaching block, which you can see on the right-hand side, our £1.3 million library, both facilities of which, having been in them and seen the facilities themselves, would rival that of the current investment being pumped into the Greater Belfast development. It really is something that is state of the art. We also currently refurbished our Students' Union space on campus with brand new catering facilities. And in looking towards the future, we will continue to invest in Magee because it is an important part of our campus provision. And we hope to open a graduate entry medical school, which has been slightly delayed because of political circumstances and given the current situation. And we also look forward to actually expanding the campus over the next number of years as well. So Magee has some ambitious plans. Whoops. So now that we've briefly covered Magee, I now want to talk about the city in which it's immersed. And that is, of course, my hometown, as well as a lot of students at Magee, Derry or Londonderry, or as it's otherwise nicknamed, LegenDerry. And I think that's particularly apt given its accolades over the past 10 years. And as you can see, it's a very beautiful city, especially during current weather conditions. Anywhere looks nice in the sun, but I think more so in Derry City. And now all I want to talk about in terms of Derry is some of the things that I think really define Derry. Maybe you are somebody who is from the city yourself, you're well aware of the offerings available in Derry and activities, or maybe you're someone who's looking for something outside of Derry and you really want to explore a bit of other study locations. So over the next couple of slides, I'm just going to show you the defining features of what I think makes Derry really, really unique and a really beautiful study location. So I think first and foremost, definitely the history of Derry. And I don't mean that in a literal sense. I mean that more in a physical sense. And I guess what I mean by that is Derry, by its architecture, is so steeped in history that every corner you turn in the street, it's almost impossible to avoid it. And that's pretty much well known by the fact that it is a walled city. I think one of Europe's last standing fully walled cities, as well as our political murals, our iconic Guildhall. The city is really steeped in history, which I think offers it a very quaint and almost Central European quality when you're actually in the city itself. I always look forward to getting back to Derry because of this really unique quality, which I think is why a lot of international students, particularly from the United States, when they come and study with us on the Magee campus, they are just simply blown away with the historical elements of the city. Another thing that I think makes Derry unique is, of course, the seminal event in the Derry calendar, which is Halloween. And I think for a lot of Derry people, and unbeknownst to me, I have no idea why, in some circumstances, it's bigger than Christmas. And it's really an event that a lot of Derry people look forward to and invest a lot of time preparing for, spend a lot of money on costumes and going out and seeing the parades. It really is a fantastic event. And I have no doubt that you would have been already aware that Derry is, of course, the Halloween capital of the world. And if you haven't got a chance to see Halloween in the city itself, then studying at Magee is a fantastic opportunity to do that because you're right bang smack in the center of the city and accessible to the fireworks display on the banks of the River Foyle. And we can't talk about Derry without talking about the crack. And I know lots of other parts of the country, like to claim that they're great crack, but I really do think that the crack and the humor and the fun in Derry is on another level. And I think you only have to look at some of the activities and events that we had hosted since the City of Culture, such as MTV's Crashed, such as BBC's Big Weekend, such as other musical events, either on a big scale or a local scale, such as the Fla. We really do know how to throw a party. And it is something that you don't have to wait every year for. It's something that you can go out and explore at the weekend and find something quaint or entertaining. But I doubt that you'll not be able to find anything during your time as a Magee student. But I think one of the more important things of being from Derry and studying in Derry is the people. I think there's a particular sense of humour about citizens of Derry in terms of their outlook in life, their sense of humour. And I think that is greatly and sometimes accurately reflected in the hit TV series Derry Girls. And a lot of the sayings and the phrases actually that I've heard in the TV series, it is fairly accurate. And it does give you somewhat an accurate sense of what Derry people are like to a degree. And I guess the last thing that I'm really proud and distinctive of what Derry is like is, of course, the highly coveted, often duplicated but never replicated sausage roll bap. Now, I know people in Belfast like to claim this one as their own, and I'm not disputing its origin, but all I'm saying is that Derry does it best. And in fact, as a Magee student, you can actually get one of the best sausage roll baps in our Students' Union cafe on the Magee campus. And of course, it is best served with a hot mug of tea. So parking Derry for a second and coming back to the Magee campus, I hope that gives you a sense of some of the things that we're particularly proud of our city and why students who study with us at Magee love the city so much. So now I want to come on to courses, and all I want to do is briefly give you a sense of the study opportunities available to you, as well as the professional accreditations that exist within those courses. So our first faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences, you can see that we have two schools on the Magee campus, the School of Arts and Humanities and the School of Applied Social and Policy Sciences. And as you can see, particular to Derry and particular to the Magee campus, within the School of Arts and Humanities, it is all those cultural arts subjects that are taught, and there's no better place to be taught than it is in a city that is accoladed for that, such as cinematic arts, drama, Irish language, law, music sound, and technology. And the particular things with these degrees means that with some of them, like Irish law and drama, you can combine them with another subject. For example, our drama degree, you can combine that with Irish or marketing or music, meaning that you get a more broad academic experience than just studying that subject itself. And as you can see, we do have professional accreditation, which our industry partners basically put their seal of approval on particular courses, meaning that the teaching taught on that particular course meets industry level standard. And it really is a CV enhancer, and it's something that we're quite proud of, particularly at the Magee campus. Next up is our Faculty of Computing and Engineering in the Built Environment, and the school that exists on this campus is the School of Computing, Engineering and Intelligent Systems. Now, some of you may have caught Justin Quinn's course director for computer science a webinar the other day where he comprehensively went through this particular school. But it really is a school that's a future looking and forward looking because of the technologies that it is attempting to harness, especially as some of the facilities that exist within the school as well. I know Justin talked about the all-state partnership facility that exists in the Magee campus, which is basically a laboratory for IT students to exercise and harness their skills, so that when they go out into industry, they're very much well prepared. Next up is our Faculty of Life and Health Sciences, and as you can see, 3 schools exist within this faculty: School of Biomedical Sciences, School of Nursing, and School of Sport. And kicking off with the School of Biomedical Sciences, a recently new course has been added to the Magee provision, and that's personalised medicine. And essentially, it's the cutting edge study of healthcare science that attempts to eradicate side effects from pharmaceuticals. Now, I know we have another webinar on personalized medicine coming up within the next few weeks, so I'll leave the detail to my colleagues, but I will add to that subject that we are the first university in the UK or Ireland to offer personalised medicine as a full-time undergraduate course. Our School of Nursing offers 2 course provisions, both adult nursing and mental health nursing. And if you don't already know by now, both of those courses are currently funded by the Department for Health, meaning that there are no tuition fees and that our applicants are entitled to a £6,000 bursary, which is non-means tested every year. You will have to attend interviews if you're lucky enough to be selected via the personal statement and UCAS process, but you don't need to worry about that until you actually apply to those courses. And then of our School of Sport, we've got sports, physical activity and health, and we have some fantastic sports facilities, which I have personally used when I've been back in Derry, such as 3G pitches, a state-of-the-art gym, and so on and so forth. And then finally, our Ulster University Business School, and on this particular campus, we have the School of Global Business and Enterprise. And kind of like some of the courses within Arts and Humanities, there are options to combine some of your courses, such as accounting and marketing, which would be a 50% weighting in both. Accounting with specialisms, which allows you to specialize in a particular area of accounting, such as taxation, management, or information systems, if you wish to get a bit more of a specialized experience, if you want to go into a particular route of that subject when you graduate. And that's pretty much an overview of the courses that exist within the Magee campus. As we've shown over the last couple of webinars, we do have a fantastic course finder on our website, which, if you're familiar with Google, is very much as user-friendly as it, where you can search whatever course you wish to find out more about, and it gives you all the information, including important notices about campus changes, entry requirements, which you're probably most interested in, but also really valuable information such as where our graduates end up working, what kinds of jobs they end up going into, and also other stats within careers and employability. So do utilize that facility when you're doing your university research, because the internet will be your best friend in that respect. So moving on then from the courses, I want to talk about the accommodation, because it is something that I think in other cities, particularly in the Republic of Ireland and in some cities in England and Scotland, they suffer lack of, I suppose, in terms of student accommodation. But at Ulster, across all 4 of our campuses, we're delighted to say that's not the case. And we offer high quality accommodation at a really affordable price. And the 2 provisions that we offer at our Magee campus are Duncragan Student Village, which is where the majority of our students live, and our Coppin House facility. But within each, you get a range of different services for a very affordable price. So as you can see, you get 24/7 security. There's car parking. You can have bike storage. We have accessible rooms. You get your Wi-Fi, maintenance support and all that, all stuff that, as I'm currently privately renting in Belfast at the moment, I don't get any of, and I'm paying a lot more money. So students are getting a good deal, basically. And our accommodation team are so good that we have been awarded as a finalist for the best booking experience and the best moving in experience by the National Student Housing Awards 2020. So we're really, really proud to say that we offer our students a very warm welcome when they arrive on campus. And all that begins from as little as £85 per week. And in terms of the pricing, you can see here how it breaks down in terms of the various room facilities that are available at Coppin House and Duncragan Student Village. Now, I've only shown 2 examples here, a single room and an ensuite room, but there are other room types available, including 1-bedroom apartments, including accessibility rooms, including family rooms, twin rooms, and so on and so forth. But for the majority of our applicants, this is probably the 2 that you're going to be interested in. And as you can see, for as little as £85 per week, you can get a single bedroom in Coppin House. And if you're feeling a bit more that you need some more space, some of your own more space, you can get an ensuite room in Duncragan Student Village for £110. So you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck in terms of student accommodation at the Magee campus. And if you don't already know, and it's pretty much evidenced every year, that Northern Ireland has the most affordable student accommodation in the UK or Ireland. And again, that's evidenced every year. So next up, I want to talk about when you move to Magee and you're settled in, what kind of things can you get involved in? And the two types of activities, the two main types of activities typically tend to be sports clubs and societies. And at Ulster, particularly in Magee, we're really proud to say that the clubs and societies that exist in this particular campus help enrich the cultural and social fabric of the student experience while students are studying with us. And they do particularly well at those sporting ventures, especially. So on this slide, you can see a breakdown of the sporting clubs and the social societies, I guess, that are available on the Magee campus. And as you can see, there's a broad range of different sports clubs who either play socially, i.e. for fun, or competitively, and who compete at national and intervarsity level. And I would have to give a nod to our men and ladies Gaelic football team, who've been doing quite well, I guess, over the past couple of years in that respect. Societies, on the other hand, are more for if you just simply want to meet new people, learn a new skill, maintain a niche hobby or interest that you're particularly interested in. And as you can see, our societies are broken down into academic, so based on the course of which you're studying, such as our Computing and Engineering Society or the Music Society, or maybe it is political based. So for example, we have Ógra Fianna Fáil. That's not the only political party represented in Magee campus. And we also have just hobby-based societies as well, such as our Core Gaming Society. So basically, there's something for everyone, and there's always an opportunity to get out there, get engaged, and meet new people, which is, in my opinion, what the student experience is all about, or at least certainly part of it. And our Students' Union helped to feed into that student experience as well, because for me, having come from the Students' Union personally, they are the heartbeat of students on each of our campuses. They help represent our students, they help advocate their interests to the university, and they help affect change across the university on matters that are important to them and where they would like to see improvements. And particularly on the Magee campus, there are two people that if you study at the Magee campus, you will become more than familiar with. First of all, our president, our first Magee president in quite a while, Colette Cassidy, and our vice president of the Magee campus, Ryan Harding. And both those guys are there to represent you. So when you arrive on campus, if you have any issues at all, or you want to chat to somebody about how you get involved in the Students' Union by either advancing your leadership and business skills through the Enterprise Centre, or if you'd like simply some advice through your advice bureau, those guys are there to help. And as you can see on the right-hand side, the top panels, 3 panels, we represent students on a variety of different levels. So the president and vice president Magee are 2 of our 7 full-time student officers, but we also have over 80 student council reps and over 800 academic representatives who help, again, affect change, positive change, and represent you whilst you're studying with us. And so now I want to turn to some of the faces of the Magee campus, because I think if there's anything that you've learned so far across this webinar is that Magee, and particularly Ulster University, is about people. It is the people that make the student experience. It is about the connections you make, the friends you make, the boyfriends and girlfriends that you meet on campus that you never thought you would. And it's about, I guess, those long-lasting friendships that will hopefully last a long time even after you graduate. And what I want to do now is show you what some of those guys have to say about the Magee campus and their Ulster University experience. So first up is Jordan Thompson, and Jordan currently studies our full-time social work program at the Magee campus. And Jordan says that social work at Ulster has allowed him to not only develop professionally, but personally through developing skills such as communication, problem solving, empathy, teamwork, and time management, to name a few. So not only is Ulster University about learning, and that's an important part, but it's all about personal development as well. And Jordan Thompson is a great example of that. Next up is Belle Stevenson, who's also studying social work. Belle is a mature student, and again, that shows the richness of the student life on campus, that we have a broad demographic, be it 17 and 18-year-olds to 25, 26 and above. who all feel so comfortable on the Magee campus. And Belle says that as a mature student, she feels comfortable in the close-knit community within Magee. Staff are incredibly supportive, and there are many clubs and societies to take advantage of. And then finally, Jordan Campbell, who's currently studying accounting with specialisms on the Magee campus, who says that Ulster is made great because of its people, and I couldn't agree more. Learning from highly experienced lecturers or students' union staff provides a various range of opportunities. Each person adds so much value to the incredible experience that is Ulster University. And I think those quotes are so true of a lot of students who come to Magee, who are passionate about Magee and mad about Magee, and those are some of the reasons why. So I did mention that we do have a real life student on the webinar with us, and we are joined by Catherine O'Hare, who is a currently student of our accounting and marketing program at the Magee campus. Catherine is currently undertaking her work placement at the university at the moment, so she didn't have to go too far, and she's helping us enhance her marketing skills by promoting the Magee campus and promoting life at Ulster University. So I'm going to hand over to Catherine now, and Catherine's going to tell you why she chose Magee and why she thinks it's a really great option for somebody looking for an alternative to Belfast study. So Catherine, over to you.
So I'm Catherine, and I'm currently undertaking my placement year with Market Engagement Team at Ulster University in the Jordanstown campus. But I'm also a current undergraduate student of the Magee campus studying accounting and marketing. So it's a bit of a background there. Just on to the next slide. So I wanted a bit of a change of scenery for university after living in Belfast for 18 years and kind of seeing what there is to see and doing what there is to do. But I didn't really want to move too far, like across the water or down south, and none of the courses really screamed for me either. So one place I did start looking was at the Magee campus, and it was definitely somewhere that I wanted to look to be like, right, well, okay, I can get a bit of independence, but I don't really have to give up my home comforts either. Plus, did a few different degrees that really interested me and I wanted to find out more about. So I went to the applicant day in Magee, and I felt really comfortable speaking to the course teams, and they helped me make the choice, which was accounting and marketing with, as Conan says, 50-50 weighting on each part of that. So it made me feel really comfortable with that choice, and I got a good vibe from the campus. But it was when I went back up for the accommodation open day that I really fell in love with the campus, the accommodation, and the city itself. So when we did go back up, you know, we walked the walls of the city. We spent the whole day there, the food, just getting a bit more of an idea of what it would be like to actually live there and experience my uni life there. And once that day was done, driving home, I was like, right, that's it. That's where I want to go, and that's where I'm going to work to try and get into. So there's so many things to fall in love with about Magee and Derry itself, but one of my favorite ones is the people. No matter where you are on campus, accommodation, town, bus, anywhere, you will find someone and see someone that you know, and there's always a friendly face, there's always somebody trying to chat to you, and you never really feel like you're alone because you just know everybody and everybody knows you. Like even the staff on campus and the residential services all know your face, all know your name, and all just want to make you feel at ease. But so you're never really stuck for anybody to speak to, and you're never really stuck for anybody to have a wee cuppa with as well, which is always great. The student union in Magee as well is fantastic. As Conan has says about, we have the first female president as well in a good few years. I think it's like 6 or 7 years. And Colette's been the VP for 2 years, which is amazing. And the work that she's done is phenomenal. Like the refurbishments of the bunker, which is, yes, the sausage roll baps, but the best cheesy gravy chips you will ever have in your life. The hangover cure of a century. You'll go to your class and be fine, honestly. But as well as that, they have so many different events on from the day and hour that you arrive until the day that you actually move home. There's so much going on. There's always such a buzz about the campus and about DSV and things, which is so good because it adds to your experience so much. You're not just getting this amazing studying experience, but also an actual all-around student experience, which is amazing. So there's so many different societies and things as well. Plus, there's so many more that weren't there as well. Plus, you can add your own. Like Procrastination just got Outstanding Society of the Year, and they were just formed last year, which is amazing. So in my second year, I was part of the Enterprise Society with the Students' Union, and it was amazing because it afforded me some amazing opportunities, one of which was Young Enterprise. And that itself led to 2 team awards, an individual award, and an all expenses paid trip to London for the UK finals, which I wouldn't have got if I was anywhere else. It was just an opportunity that you couldn't turn down, you didn't want to miss. As well as that, the actual campus itself is such a nice place to study and live, because you get this amazing classic architecture as well as these amazing brand new modern like studying spaces, which is really good because I don't know about yourselves, but when I'm studying, I can't sit somewhere for too long. But on campus, there's so many different places to sit and work, and it's amazing. It just really helps your overall experience and helps your productivity as well. So we actually have one building, the Martha McGee one, which is the Hogwarts building. You'll understand when you actually see it. So Derry itself, like as a student experience, is amazing because it has such a broad social landscape for you, like outside of your actual classes and things. So there's some amazing things, like the local cafes is some of the nicest coffees and the nicest views you will get. Just imagine a nice wee morning coffee looking out onto the foil, and it's honestly amazing. Plus, they all do late nights as well. Like they take turns alternating it. So there's always somewhere different to study and hang out and just kind of take it easy. As well as that, the city centre is buzzing every single night of the week, but there is nothing like it on a Saturday night. Like it just does not stop. No matter where you go, it's top quality crack. It's amazing company, and honestly one of the best nights you'll have out. And as Conan says, Halloween is massive, like world renowned, massive. You honestly stick out if you're not dressed up. Like you will get stirs if you're not dressed up. But it's amazing, from the parade to the market, and the fireworks display as well is phenomenal. And there's nowhere better for Halloween. Like no matter what people say, there's nowhere better to experience it. And one thing people don't really realize about Magee and studying up there is how much more affordable it makes university. Like you get so much more out of your student loan if you study up there, in terms of your rent, your groceries, even things like taxis. It's amazing what you can actually, how far you can make your loan stretch compared to other places. Like you never have to worry about missing a night out or having to worry too much about food, because you always have enough as long as you're somewhat sensible. I knew I wanted to study in Magee because of when I went to visit it, I fell in love with the place. And I knew I wanted to study there, and there was nowhere else for me. There was no other course for me either. So honestly, my experience of Magee and Ulster University there has been amazing, and I am so excited to go back in September and finish off my degree there. I can't wait to get back.
Okay, Catherine, thank you for that. I hope that gives students a bit of a sense about Catherine's experience at Magee, and it really is interesting some of the things that she talks about that are similar to that when I was creating this presentation had come to mind for me. So we're coming towards the end of the presentation, and there's just a few more things I want to mention. Obviously, we do have open days coming up in September, and I would like to point out our Magee campus open day on Friday, the 18th of September from 9:30 to 2 p.m. Currently on our website at the moment, this is only open for schools to register their students, but it is expected that we will run a family open day on the next day, on the Saturday, so Saturday the 19th of September. So keep your eyes peeled for it. And as Catherine says, I do think it's a great opportunity, no matter where it is you want to study in the UK or Ireland, to actually get on campus, to see if you can envisage yourself on campus. Because there's lots of campuses and universities that when students go to, having not gone to an open day, they simply are homesick and wish to come home. So do take that opportunity to make yourself available to attend the Magee campus. We do have more webinars upcoming over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully you've been attending a few of them so far. So do stay tuned for that. We will be adding more subject webinars for you to keep informed about the study opportunities that are available. And hopefully this is all helpful in your university research. You can get in contact with ourselves if you have any further questions. I will hang about now for some questions at the end. But if you have any questions that specifically relate towards an application or a course, you can get in touch with our Magee admissions team. The telephone number is there. If you have any generic course inquiries or inquiries about the university in general, you can contact ourselves, the student recruitment team at study@ulster.ac.uk. Or if you wish to chat to real life students, you can use our Unibuddy system, which is on our website. Those guys just automatically pop up and will answer any questions that you have. So that is probably about it for the Magee campus presentation, Mad About Magee. Hopefully it gives you a bit of an insight into what the campus is all about, and hopefully you've slightly fallen in love with it, as maybe not as much as current students have, but hopefully it piques your interest somewhat. So I think now we do have some time for questions. If you wish to continue asking those questions in the Q&A pane, please do so. I'll be hanging about here for probably another 5 or 10 minutes. So if anybody wants to use the Q&A facility, please just type in a question and I will answer them. So until we see each other, hopefully in the flesh, good luck, stay safe, and hope to see you soon. Bye. So I noticed the question that had come through there about the nursing course. Do you still get a loan for tuition and maintenance fees? Looks like that has just been answered, and you don't get the tuition fee loan because you don't need it, because your tuition fees are paid. And in terms of maintenance, you may be eligible for some maintenance awards, but you do also get that five or £6,000 bursary, which is non-means tested. So you may get a maintenance loan or a maintenance grant, I think, but just check that with student finance.